Great British Bake Off star Sophie Faldo is being investigated for alleged benefits fraud. The 33-year-old former army officer, who is in the TV final, is said to have been claiming a single person's allowance despite living with her chef boyfriend David Slattery in Surrey. Sophie Faldo is a finalist for this season of the Great British Bake Off. It is believed an investigator spotted Sophie Faldo's biography on the Bake Off website stating her living situation. Claimants can get more if they're single rather than living as a couple, especially if their other half works. Sophie lived with David in a house they shared with others before setting up home together in a two-bedroom flat. A similar property in the same exclusive development rents for £1,250 a month. It is believed that Sophie claimed benefits as a single person despite living with her boyfriend. Sophie grew up in Suffolk and now lives in Surrey. The 33-year-old is a former army officer. James Hillary is next to be voted off a Great British Bake Off as Sophie Faldo wins star baker. A source told The Sun she is being investigated for benefit fraud. She has been saying her partner doesn't live with her, but he does. They have been caught out. Former army officer Sophie describes her occupation as training to be a stuntwoman. She will be seen in the final tomorrow night along with Stephen Carter-Bailey and Kate Lyon. Sophie was star baker in last week's show, presented by Sandy Tokesfig and Noel Fielding. On the first episode she spoke about a cake she had made a housemate. At the time of filming she was in her shared house in West Molesey, Surrey. Another source claimed she was unemployed and said she was applying for some sort of rent support. An investigator spotted that Sophie's profile on the Bake Off website said she was living with her boyfriend. Sophie will appear in the final alongside Stephen Carter-Bailey and Kate Lyon. It was a house share with 3 other girls and she moved her fella in with her when she wasn't authorized to. It was one of the reasons that she moved. Sophie confirmed in a magazine interview, "I have recently moved and the new kitchen is small but modern." Talking about practicing her cakes, she added, "Luckily I didn't have a time job. I was just doing a bit of personal training during the show." The official Great British Bake Off site states Sophie grew up in Suffolk and now lives in Surrey with her boyfriend David and cat Loki. It was David who put in an application for the show. His public Twitter account, which was made private after The Sun contacted her, said he is a chef at the Glass House in Kew. Channel 4 picture publici. Sophie won star baker last week. Copyright Mark Bordil and Love Productions. Channel 4 Sophie spoke about baking for a housemate in the first episode of Bake Off. A Bake Off spokesman said that Sophie has declared a change in her circumstances. One snap showed the pair on a sofa, wearing near identical clothes. He captioned it, "This is what happens when me and Sophie Faldo wake up at different times." Yesterday, Sophie refused to comment as she left home for a bike ride. She said, "I am not going to talk about this at all. You need to speak to my agent." Taking whisks the 5 most scandalous moments of the Great British Bake Off, from custard gate to Jaffa cake dunking benefits. Claimants can fall foul of Department for Work and Pensions rules if they fail to report or change of circumstances. Last night a Bake Off spokesman said Sophie has recently declared a change in her circumstances to the DWP. A meeting to reassess her situation, scheduled for last Friday, was postponed by her local job centre until next week. A suggestion of benefit fraud relating to Sophie is categorically untrue. Sophie and boyfriend live in a development where similar flats cost £1,250 a month. Sophie has also recently said that she has moved and has a new kitchen. Sophie refused to give comment about the claims. Great British Bake Off's Sophie Faldo crafts a bottleneck out of chocolate that looked like a penis. Previous Bake Off champions are poised to battle it out against one another in 2 Christmas specials, it was revealed yesterday. Channel 4 hopes to get the likes of Nadia Hussain, 32, and Frances Quinn, 35, to take part, even though they won when the show was still on the BBC. The returnees will be set 3 baking challenges to find the creme de la creme. Last night C4 was keeping mum about those who have signed up. Last year's Great British Bake Off winner Candice Brown, 32, has got engaged to tree surgeon Liam Macaulay, 32, in Bedford. Meet Sophie Faldo, Bake Off finalist being investigated for benefit fraud. Bake Off's Kate Lyon inundated with marriage offers ahead of the show's finale. Bake Off's Paul Hollywood will get soggy bottom chiseled onto his headstone. Great British Bake Off contestant Stacey Hart used to be a teacher. Here's how you can be in the studio. Answer: Bake Off an extra slice. GBB host millionaire Stacey Hart visits a male pole dancer to cheer herself up. Get the lowdown on Joe Brand, the quick-witted comedian and an extra slice host. Here's what the winner of the Great British Bake Off will get next week. Back your baking skills. Here's how to apply for the next season of Bake Off. Who's been booted off Bake Off so far and who's been named star baker? Stacey Hart leaves Bake Off tent and returns to plush millionaire lifestyle. Bake Off viewers outraged as Paul Hollywood dares to break golden rule.